All right. Hello, everyone. So it's been a long time since the last video. Um, I turned 21. I remember I have a video in my channel talking about how I felt turning 22. Sorry, 20 turning 20. And I haven't really rewatched the video. I have to, but I figured I'd do a second video in my birthday. Or talking about my birthday. So, the past two birthdays have been really nice. I've been always a person who's like very lonely, and I never really had friends that would, sort of come to me and tell me, "Hey, let's do this for your birthday," or "Hey, happy birthday." Actually, I don't think I have a single friend who wished me a happy birthday, and I don't resent. Oh, well, two of them did. So shout out to my boys, but for the most part, um, most of them didn't, wish me a happy birthday, which I don't resent, of course, because we're friends. But there's not like that. I guess there's not that link in between our relationships in which you have to always be there for birthdays and stuff like that. But it's cool how much I've grown over the last few years, and it's not in a sense of like I have a lot of money or I'm a lot smarter. I mean, even though I would consider myself a lot smarter because back in the day I used to be like I hate this place. I remember I spent my 19th birthday at my grandma's house, and I was just complaining. I was just finding faults in everywhere in everywhere. I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to like my English is still bad, or I still have no friends. I still having trouble. I still haven't done so many things. I was so I was complaining about everything. I was so fastidious at that point. And nowadays it's more like I'm glad I get to have this beautiful family. I I celebrate. Sorry, my bad. Hold on. Let me hydrate myself a bit. So I spent my birthday, or I celebrated my birthday on Sunday, right? And it was really nice doing that because I was with my family. It was nice seeing all of my family gather here. Sort of. My family is very like they're very, how would you call it, like they're very outgoing, and they're very flashy. So they were here screaming and eating, and it was nice. I think the least thing, the thing that they spoke of the least was my birthday. Literally, my birthday was in their mouths like 2 seconds, and then they started talking about something else. Which I mean, I love. The fact that they can just have an excuse to be here and be family. That was nice. Um, and I don't know. I just really enjoyed seeing them all around here. I really enjoy having the capacity and having my family having my back for me to say, hey, I want to go to the beach. And I went to the beach. Like we celebrated my birthday here, and then I went to the beach at night at like 11 or something, which I still have some story to tell you about that. And yeah, we spent like the whole day here. It was really fun, really nice. I appreciated everyone who was here. And it's nice to not be, complaining about it. It's like I'm still not financially stable. I am still not super smart. I'm still not, I don't know, I'm still not like as emotionally intelligent as I wish I was. But life's good. I have people who love me. Things can be hard from time to time, but it takes, some effort, some pain for you to grow. I like it when Seneca said that you wouldn't be surprised that a man has to go through struggle and hard times in order to grow smarter and more virtuous. The same way for men to, heal, doctors have to do all of these things that would seem for anybody who wouldn't like for somebody who wouldn't know anything about how doctors take care of people. They would be surprised when doctors try to break legs, open, fucking their stomach, or you know uh their intestines and all of these things. It's just a nice analogy to tell you that you have to go to discomfort to get better, to heal, to improve. And I'm trying to sort of embrace that part, that lesson, because my life, at least lately, has been getting a bit more stressful than usual, mainly because of course I'm transitioning more into being a more independent person, even though I'm not independent whatsoever. but I'm transitioning towards that, and the stress that comes with it is a bit overwhelming. And I talked about that on the videos, but I'm kind of like getting through it. And yeah, man, mainly like I like seeing myself as a grateful person. Now I'm grateful of having my family here. Now I'm grateful of having the things that I didn't have back in the day. Back in the day, I didn't have a phone. You know what I'm saying? I would learn English from my barely working phone, and you know, the fact that now I have my phone, I have a computer, I have all of these specs, I have people supporting me for that. I have the money to take care of my family if ever happens something like that. Something bad. And you know it's just nice to see yourself getting like growing up, because I'm growing up. It's not even like I'm getting smarter or richer or anything like that. It's just like the fact that I'm growing up and understanding and appreciating things. And yeah, you know and not everything is perfect, of course, because when my birthday, well, I received my birthday, because like I said, I celebrated it on Sunday. But when I received my birthday at the beach, which I loved, two consecutive days, years, sorry, celebrating my birthday in the beach. I love that. So we went to the beach along with my sister, and we were just waiting there for my dad to come at around like 11 something. It was chill. We took a lot of pictures. We were thinking, we were just hanging out at the shore. And then my dad arrived. They sang happy birthday to me. That was really nice. We took a bunch of pictures. I got like a rock. I wish I could show you the rock. I'll try this time to record, to like actually edit it and put here, like, I don't know, pictures. I have a picture of a pebble that has a face, pretty cool, and it's triangular. Um, and yeah, Oh, I finished the book. Okay, so I was gonna talk about something else, but I want to talk about it. Well, I didn't finish the book, but I put out the first version, the first free version, because I just wanted to do something by the time I was 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh, when I was 20, I put out the free version of my book. I can't say that I finished my entire book, but at least I put out the first version. It's like almost saying, like, it fills me with pride to say that I sat down and wrote something about English, and put it out there. It really fills me with pride to know that I did my best. You know what I'm saying? And I doubt anybody has clicked the link so far, and I doubt anybody has downloaded it. But the fact that I put into work and I put it out there, that is, everything that was in within my control. And I like being able to say that. I like being able to be happy just with having done my best. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna finish this book, this year before I'm 20, or before I'm 21 rather, but at least I'm gonna put out the first version. And it just filled me with pride knowing that by my 20s I was doing this stuff. It's kind of nice. It's kind of like an achievement that I will remember for years. And yeah, I put it out. Kind of liked it. It was kind of weird, not gonna lie. It's weird. It's weirdly designed, but I feel like I did not want to change it. Like, I put words over other words in the chapters, but I just felt like I did not want to change it because it felt more like me. You know, I feel like if I had put it like just normal, it probably would have a better sort of like, I don't know, from other people it would look cooler or have a better sort of look. But in my perspective, I like it more like that because it feels more like something I actually created rather than something I simply jotted down on notes. It feels like my creation when I make something that sort of like I can find myself in. Okay, I can find myself, my head, my brain in. It's like, oh yeah, that looks like something I would do, rather than just that's just my idea on a piece of paper. Does that make sense? But yeah, that's that. And well, going back to the story of the anecdote of the beach. This is something that happened at the beach. We sang happy birthday and everything was chill. But then there's this guy approached us, right? And he was telling us, hey, guys, can I ask like an advice from you? Can I ask for some advice? And I was like, yeah, sure. because my dad didn't say anything. When you're in like a friend group or in a group in general, you always expect somebody to speak. But I saw my dad not speaking at all. Um, so I was like, yeah, sure. And I started talking to the guy literally in front of my family, and he was telling me like he was dating this girl. The girl was 15 years younger than him. Bro looked old, so I mean, I would like to think that the girl is not underage or anything like that. That would be fucked up. But I didn't know the guy. But he was saying like, he fell in love with this girl 15 years younger than him, and he had, you know, he had been going through something. The guy was definitely high. He did not smell like anything, but he was definitely high, and he was definitely going through something. He said that he had walked, let's say, almost 8 kilometers. Thinking about it at night. By the way, that was like 1 a.m. He was thinking about it. He was walking around. Um, he he told me like, I've been dating this girl. We have been doing things. However, it's sort of like you know, it's known that they're having a relationship, but they never spoke about it. And he now wants to come clean with her and tell her that he wants something serious. And I was telling him like, I was trying to give him my best advice, because I mean, for some people it would be like an easy no, go away, I'm with my family. But I don't know why at that point I just felt like it was something cool to do, to talk to a stranger about whatever is in their minds. When you meet somebody like that, when you meet someone who is asking pretty much for help, and even his whole vibe, even though he looked like a cool dude, his whole vibe was like a bit wretched. He was walking around uh visibly high and visibly distressed. And the thing that he had done, walking for so long along the shore, could tell you that he was definitely going through something. He was fighting some demons. And I gave him my best advice, like the basic ones. If you continue doing this and just postponing this conversation, both of you, or maybe you alone, are gonna get hurt. So it's much better that you get the response right now, rather than, I don't know, later, when you see that the girl has found somebody who she takes a bit more seriously for a relationship, right? And by the end of that, I told him, hey, um, hope you figure it out, but I have to go back with my family now. And we just shook hands, and he said like, I wish I could have talked more, man. And he just went on. And I mean, like I said, it's crazy because I don't know exactly what the guy's into, but in a sense, it was nice, to be able to help somebody to a certain extent, or like at least make them feel heard, make them feel like they will not be like, I don't know, maybe judged. Like I said, we don't know exactly what the guy did. The guy was visibly high, so I did not want to ask anything about ages or anything like that. He was the one who like told us that he was only 15 years younger than her, and I guess that's maybe the reason why he was so distressed. And I started thinking afterwards, why did I do that? Why did I talk to this guy? And I guess that's like my anxiety coming back to me. You know, I feel like in this 2 days, I had felt zero anxiety because I was chilling, to be honest. You know, and then I felt like a really overwhelming anxiety after that. And I don't know why that is. I think it was because I felt like I acted badly in talking to him on my birthday when my family was around. But then when I asked them, they said like it was fine. But maybe it was because it was my birthday. They just didn't want to go against me, even though they're not that type of people. But I was thinking about it like, maybe I should have just let him go. Why am I talking to a stranger? And maybe he's doing something bad, and I'm out here sort of like not condoning his behavior, but listening to him. But in a sense, I then sat and thought, and I realized that, you know, in my ignorance, I feel like I gave him the best advice that I could have given him. You know, his character, his own problems are his own. Um, I hope he chooses the right way and he sorts everything out. But you know, that was that. That was at like 1 a.m. By the way, remind you. Um, and yeah, so that was pretty much like the birthday. Then we went around and we just ate a little bit, and that's it. But now, you know, going back to my age, I'm 21 now. It's crazy. I was like 20 a few I was 22. I was 20 a year ago, but you know, it feels crazy how time flies, and my age is starting to sound a bit more serious right now. And I mean, life is like that. Everybody has been telling me like, you're gonna blink and you're gonna be 30. That's what they told me. You're gonna blink and you're gonna be 30. Um, and I mean, I find myself doing that to like people who are like 16 and 17. I tell them like, you're gonna blink and you're gonna be 20. Like, I know it looks like you have 4 years to go, but those 4 years to go are 4 short years to go. And maybe it was because I graduated in like during pandemic, so life felt very short lived. In those like 3 years that we, well, not 3 years, but 2 years that we spent during the pandemic. And but yeah, and that gives me a sense of urgency to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? Mainly because I know that I should be obviously attaining certain goals, financial and I guess life goals, like traveling, doing all of these things, because I don't want to just overfixate on things that are external, that are shallow, sort of like money and stuff and like having a house and stuff like that, even though they are very important. I feel like being fulfilled with your life is probably the most important thing. I wanna be in my, like, I wanna die being like, damn, we lived. We went through all of the struggle, but it was necessary. I did not go through all of the struggle just for nothing. It was necessary. I went through it and I lived and I enjoyed. So I was thinking about it. I was thinking about trying to live more purposefully, both being productively purposeful and and living purposefully. And by living purposefully, I mean not just living like day by day, as in like, oh, I have to go to work, gotta like went to work, watch some videos, go to sleep, go to work, watch some videos, go to sleep, eat, blah blah blah, like hoarding money or maybe spending all the money away. I want to live, you know. I want to travel. I want to have fun with my friends. I want to acquire memories that will stay with me forever. That's the type of life that I want to build. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like, a new idea, because that whole goal of having a life that I don't want to get away from is the whole reason why I work so hard and like, you know, um things such as my work, try to study something to, like, like for example stocks and stuff like that, just to make sure I can find a way to make enough money to just be free, you know, to do pretty much what I do as of today, which is wake up and decide whether I want to work or not, or maybe not decide, but like work very little. You know what I'm saying? I want to have that capacity, and I was talking to my girlfriend about this, like, you know, I am excited. She asked me what I was excited for about the future, and I told her, well, beside of course all of the things that are coming this year, which she will come and visit me on July, and there's a lot of other things that are going on in my family, which I'm looking forward to, and also going out with my friends. But life wise, I was looking forward to financial stability, and the reason why is because of that, because I want to have the freedom to just wake up one day and say, today I get to do whatever I want. Today I get to go take a walk with my girl. Today I get to play video games like with my girl or with my friends, or go out and watch some movies together, or go travel, go to this place that we've always wanted to go and stuff like that. And I've been, like I said in previous videos, I feel like a lot of people who hear this think like, that's lazy. You gotta work harder and stuff like that. But it's like, no, you know what I'm saying? You can love your job, and if I were to love my job, for example, making videos. Imagine if this was my job, just making videos in front of the camera, of course. I would do it still, even though I don't have to do. I would do it still. I don't have to do it, and I do it still, with no sort of like um expectation as to, if, oh, this is gonna go viral or this should go viral. I just make it because I like it. I like seeing it in front of the camera and speaking. If I had something like uh that earns me money, I would still do it, even though I don't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? But I want to live a life that I'm proud of. I want to live a life that satisfies me, you know? and that is the whole reason why I want to be financially stable and have time freedom, to be able to do all of those things. And since I'm 21, I don't want to be bleak or negative, but time's running. I'm not running out of time, but time's running, and I have to catch up to a certain extent. I will try my best to find ways to like increase my income, um, to again, not need to be present somewhere to make money, and let go of this stress, because I realized something, and it is that I might be uh, afraid of being broke in a certain sense, you know what I'm saying? And not being broke like, oh, I can afford to do all of these crazy things, because as of today I make money, and for somebody who doesn't have a lot of financial sort of I don't pay a lot of bills. I don't have financial sort of responsibilities as much. I could spend my money like crazy, and I could waste it away. However, the only reason why I want to have money is for what I said previously. I want to have the freedom to say I wake up today and I get to still be able to support myself, still be able to have pleasures, you know what I'm saying? But not in excess, because if I were to do that in excess, of course, I wouldn't be able to do that the next day. And yeah, man, I've been working on it. Of course, the book is probably the closest thing that I have to a digital product that I will start selling. And I'm honestly very proud of that book, at least from the parts that I wrote. And I have to improve it still. Like the chapters have to be improved, because I feel like I have a lot more to say and a lot more value to add. And I also feel like when the chapters are well written, it's not just like go straight up to like you do this and this is what you have to do and this, because I feel like when it takes too little time for people to understand, it doesn't stick to their heads. However, if you're a bit more detailed and like not ambiguous, things stick easier to people's brains, and that's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, man, like I guess this video is just pretty much a checkpoint you know, in my life, and reminding me of where I was back in the day. Like I said, we haven't achieved financial stability. We're still very anxious about work, because our work, I mean, at least I find it pretty stressful from time to time, of course, not always. But I understand that you have to go through hard. You have to go through hardship in order to grow enough, and you know, be the person who deserves to have the life that you want. I wouldn't like to just, snap my fingers and be, financially stable and stuff like that. There's some growth that has to come for you to be satisfied with the person who you are. For example, back in the day, my girlfriend and I, we sort of like learned how to be good with each other, you know? And if you had just put this girl in front of me, and, having to sort of like get to know each other like that, or like having to go through all of these things that couples go through, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have been able to meet, the standards of a good boyfriend, because I was really young back in the day, you know what I'm saying? I was so dumb and I had so many things to go through. And it's cool because I was telling her the other day, a long time ago, by the way, like 2 years ago, when we were talking about like her visiting me, because it's easier for her to visit me, by the way. It's not because I'm an asshole. um, I was sort of like a bit reluctant to do so, mainly because I was like, I don't know, I don't think I'm the person who I want to be. I told her that, and I told her I don't know if I'm where I want to be with you, because I saw sort of her as a part of my dream life, which of course it was gonna look off if I put her here with me being honestly a very a very, oh shit, I forgot the word. A very like immature person, childish, and living here with no job back in the day. Nowadays, of course, I have a job. um I'm still, grappling with it. I'm smarter, I'm kinder with people, also mental, like brain wise, like emotional intelligence. My emotional intelligence has grown a lot over the past few years. And of course, now I feel like I'm, you know, able to be a good man for her. I'm a good, I can be a gentleman. I can provide. I can take care of her. You know what I'm saying? Whereas back in the day, I just felt like I was lucky to have her. I did not feel like she was lucky to have me to a certain extent. It's not, it's like you feel like you're not given as much as you would be receiving. And of course, I will never be able to say, like, oh, yeah, she's getting the best that she could. Okay, she's getting the best man. She's getting the most gentleman, kinder, richest man she could ever get. But of course, you have to climb up the ladder to feel more like like you're doing the best for her, which I feel as of today. Like I'm really looking forward to July to like meet. It's kind of weird to talk about it in front of the camera. I don't think I've ever talked about it like this. But yeah, that's something that was in my head back in the day, and after so many years, I feel like I've gotten a bit closer to that persona that I ambitioned, of course. And yeah, man, like the financial thing, we definitely have to put some work into it for this to take shape and to start giving me more outcomes. What I can say though is that consistency is key for everything. There's always plateaus. There's always points in which you feel like everything is going to hell and you want to quit and you feel like you're not getting paid. That happened to me with everything. That happened to me with football, which was the first thing that taught me how to pretty much overcome difficulties and get better at something. It happened to me when I was learning English and I was so frustrated seeing that I wasn't making it much progress and I was stuck and people would make fun of me from time to time and I would feel like I was not enough to even speak my ideas out on the internet or to anyone else. And all of a sudden I woke up and I felt comfortable with it and I felt like I could express myself, you know? There's always plateaus. There's always moments of silence, moments of, you know, no action, of no outcomes, dry sort of periods of time in your journey, which to a certain extent I've started to see as a sign, you know, that if you get over this, if you get through this, you will get paid. You know, I got paid in both of those things, both in football uh, and in English, of course, in my journey. And I'm pretty sure in these quiet moments that I'm experiencing as of today, I will also get paid. I will get what I deserve. I will get what I've been working for. But of course, that doesn't mean that you just, find things not working out and you should just continue doing them. Of course not. You should always work purposefully. Know what every single, you know, bit of effort, every single bit of investment is gonna do for you. What role does it play in your future, you know, in what you want to do? For example, these videos could potentially pay like could potentially play a role to my goal, let's say. um but it's not really something that I see as playing a role for my future. It would be cool if I could, sort of have a community here, but these videos are more like for me to yap and sort of, record my progress and document my life so that in the future maybe somebody else watches it or I watch it when I'm older and I'm like, damn, you know, I was going through that. I had those ideas. I'm glad I did that, and I'm glad I recorded like videos 2 years ago. I'm glad I did those things. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in my previous videos, not everything has to be productive, but everything that is productive has to be measured and has to be thoroughly understood. Like why do you do this and why, like, is it important and how can it help you? You know, just so that you actually like go through a struggle, because usually what you do uh, for productivities take some discipline, take some struggle. So make sure you're at least spending that time correctly and purposefully. Hey, I got a new microphone, by the way. This is like a little small microphone that we're gonna use for future videos. I have another one there, and I also got a headset for work as well as a webcam for work as well. And yeah, I probably will be recording more videos like this. Actually, I like it, and I have another pair of these, so maybe I will bring over some friends. I have a video again, and I have not posted it because it's on my phone, and for some reason I cannot export it to DaVinci Resolve to record it, to like edit it. But I will do my best to do so and post it because it's a good video. And it was recorded with my older microphone. I literally took my other microphone to the beach, which is freaking miles away, and we recorded it there. But now we have these little guys that are gonna help you make better content, help us make better content. So yeah, thank you for being here. Like my girlfriend would say, thank you for listening to my TED talk. Have a good day.